In few days, Nigerians will decide President Buhari's successor as the All Progressives Congress is making all effort to retain the seat of power. Deputy spokesperson APC PCC media team Hannatu Musawa joins me on the program. Thank you for joining us at this time. It's 2 days to the elections, and of course Nigerians are still pained about the Naira scarcity. We know that your principal's position on this matter has been harped on several times. What really is the message the APC is sending across to the voters ahead of the election?
Thank you very, very much for having me on the show this evening. Our message to the voters is to remain steadfast. We have 2 days to go to the national election. It's an election that all of us have been anticipating for quite a while. We want our supporters to remain steadfast and to be brave and to go and register their votes. It's very important for them to be able to exercise their constitutional duty and right in order to be able to play a part in building their future. And we hope that with the high turnout of voters, I think you will find that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has always been the front runner. He remains the front runner and will be the front runner going to the election, and coming out of the election, he will be hopefully declared as winner. So I want every single one of our supporters and our voters to remain steadfast and to continue to pray and to go and exercise this civic duty that they have to vote on election day.
The Supreme Court has adjourned to the 3rd of March now. Judgment in the matter of the Naira redesign policy. How optimistic is your party, and what really are your expectations from the judgment of the Supreme Court?
Our hope is, because the Apex Court has spoken, I think everyone in the land, bar none, should abide by what the Apex Court has said, which is for the situation to be maintained, status quo to remain. And that means that every single denomination is legal tender, including 500 and 1,000 Naira note. And that is that's the position of the Supreme Court for now, up until the 3rd of March, in which it will make its further determination. However, for us as a party and for us as a campaign, it doesn't really matter what will happen. Whatever decision is made, we are optimistic either way. The victory is on our side. I think we've done enough work up until now that it would literally take a miracle to derail Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's victory at the polls. I really do hope, though, that every single party, everyone in the country would abide by what the Supreme Court has said, because that is what the Constitution that that's the rule of law, basically. If we're a country that really adheres ourselves to the rule of law, then I think it is vitally important for us to obey what the Supreme Court has said. And if we don't, it sets a really, really dangerous precedent moving forward.
Well, it's 2 days to the presidential and National Assembly elections, and it's on record that your party and your candidate have been to the nooks and crannies of the country, canvass and vote. What really is the response you've been receiving beyond the crowd at rallies?
Honestly, and I say this hand on heart, the response has been absolutely phenomenal. You know, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is not an unknown name to everyone in Nigeria. And for those that support us and those that really wanted to know what he was about, you know, it was very exciting for them to be able to interact with him in the way that they were able to when he visited their communities in the town hall meetings and in the rallies. And the response has been absolutely very, very phenomenal. And I can tell you, I go for most of his campaigns, and I can tell you that you can see that the adoration is very organic. You can see it in the faces of people. People just love to see him, and people love to see that he has come to their communities to visit with them and to take his message to them directly. So for me, even beyond that, for those that are able to take his messages directly where he's not able to go, the response has been phenomenal. And I think we'll see that play out in the election in the next 2 or 3 days.
So do you foresee this election going into second ballot? I mean, your party, the APC, recording just about 25% of votes.
Absolutely not. I think this is going to be a straight win for somebody. I've always said up until now, I know there's several people contesting for the position, but I think there's really, realistically, only really 2 parties on the ballot. This is PDP and APC. I mean, all the others, fantastic candidates. They've done great jobs. But the reality is that we have a law that has a certain requirement, and you have to be able to meet the threshold of that requirement. And I think it's only PDP and APC that have the ability at this point to do so. And it's going to be, I mean, I want to be honest to say, I think it's going to be a tight race. But I think Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and APC are going to be able to record victory. I think as early as Sunday evening, Sunday, it will be quite clear who is the front runner. It's going to be Asiwaju. I don't think we're going to go to a second ballot at all. We don't envisage that from all our estimations.
But have you considered the Southeast? We have 5 states there. Have you also considered the South-South geopolitical zones of the country? What has your party done before now to make inroads into these regions?
Yes, we have actually. And we feel that, and we strongly do believe that APC and PDP as well are likely to get at least 25% in all the states, including for APC the Southeast and including for PDP in Southwest as well, which is probably areas that both perceive to be a little weaker. I feel that we will get 25% in those areas, because you have to remember that we do have contestants in those areas, and those contestants have worked very, very hard to be able to garner support in their different communities. And that support also transgresses to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and APC as a party. So definitely, I think we're going to be able to do that. And yes, we've considered the Southeast, and we know that there are other parties, maybe the third force, as people are calling the Labour Party, which is probably going to be very strong in the Southeast. But what you find is that particular area is a stronghold of the PDP traditionally. So any votes that, any leverage that the Labour Party is going to get from those areas is taken away from our main contender. And, you know, that can only work in our favour, but our base still remains. So I do think we're going to be able to pass that threshold of 25% in at least 24 states. And the simple majority, I think that is going to come down predominantly to the north, specifically to the northwest. And we're doing everything in our power to make sure we deliver those vital votes for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, so that he gets at least the simple majority.
All right, and just before we let you go very quickly, would you say truthfully that your party is going into this election with a united front?
Yes, our party is very united, extremely united. In fact, the events of the last couple of weeks have made us a lot more united. The fact that you see even the National Working Committee, the APC, have come out and have stood strong together with the PCC and with the candidates. I think we are very united. And you see even the president is going out to campaign for us. We're very united and we're very focused. And we have one aim in mind, is to get the votes for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and to see victory for APC all the way.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us today on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's our program today. Watch a repeat broadcast at 6 in the morning tomorrow. I am Abosedi Adeniro.